I'm your cult boyfriend, and we're gonna be looking at Google, asking Google what the best movies ever made are, and then we're gonna be commenting on what we find. Expect hot takes, expect great insight, expect to get smarter when you're done with this video. It's a guarantee. Let's begin, I guess, at the beginning. Let's go to 1920s, popular 1920s movies. Nosferatu is really good. Obviously, F.W. Murnau is a genius, clearly. People seem to forget, though, that Nosferatu is pretty anti-Semitic. The vampire is a pretty transformative archetype. Its symbol has changed and shifted throughout the decades. And one of its earliest forms, cinematically, was certainly anti-Semitic. I mean, he looks like a awful Jewish caricature. But it's fucking great, and horror should be problematic. It's just it does kind of expose the amount of anti-Jewish material that was in Germany at the time. Metropolis is okay. So Metropolis is good. I revisited it though, and it's not as good as I remember. It might be. It's good in the sense that it's everybody's first silent film, like one of their first, if it's not Nosferatu, it's Metropolis or a Chaplin film, right? Metropolis is really good, but it's nowhere near Fritz Lang's best film and nowhere near the pinnacle, the peak of German Expressionism. Al Jolson, the jazz singer, it's fucking bad. It's racist and it's also just bad. First and foremost, it's a bad film. You ain't heard nothing yet. That does have a lot of power, you know, but the film is just awfully composed and it's stupid. Nanook of the North. So, man, 1920s are just full of problematic shit, I guess. But Nanook of the North is an important, very significant building block in the assembly of film grammar, of film language. I don't get much out of it, but it's still incredibly important. Yes, it's problematic. Yes, it's like, it's really fucking off base and kind of weird, but without it, we would be lacking a huge part of the vocabulary that we take for granted today cinematically. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is fantastic. Robert Vine was so impressive that it blows my mind. And Conrad Veidt. Now that's the real shit. I wish that The Man Who Laughs was on here, the Paul Lenny film. I think that's kind of the best example of German Expressionism, and it's also Universal Studios who produced that film. It's kind of a perfect marriage between sensibilities, which allows it to be not only gothic and extreme, but also extremely beautiful and touching and full of pathos. Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. It's cool, I guess. The Sheik. So Rudolph Valentino didn't really get to be in any good films, but anything that documented that beautiful man is belongs in a museum and is definitely worthy of showing up on a list or a search like this. Valentino was heaven sent. Greed. Greed is the best film that is shown here, and it's Eric von Stroheim's greatest film. It's one of the greatest films ever made. Let me just stop fucking dodging the hyperbole. It's one of the greatest films ever made, and it's incredible due to its legacy of, the urban legends of only a handful of people saw the full uncut version, which doesn't exist anymore. It's been lost, but the mutilated versions that we do have are just transcendental. I love Greed. Eric von Stroheim is a sort of god, so far as I'm concerned. What is this? What is it? 1990s comics movies? All right, Google's having a stroke, but we're cool with it. Batman Forever. I mean, reminds me of being a kid. Joel Schumacher is a psychopath. It's not good. You know, it's not good. Why am I doing this one? It's pointless. Galaxy Quest is funny, but like, get over it. It's not that funny. I don't know if I have any insight to provide to any of these. Men in Black, I like. I like the Men in Black movies. Those are good. Those are good. Darkman, I don't like. Sam Raimi, I don't like him as much as my friends do. I mean, while I do think that The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and The Gift Spider-Man 2. Like, he is a good director. I just, at the same time, think he's a bad one. And Darkman is a pretty bad movie. From Dusk Till Dawn, the part of me that will always be an obnoxious 14-year-old boy with a perpetual boner will always love From Dusk Till Dawn. Cool violence, hot girls, crazy shit, it's for the 14-year-old inside of all of us. Cool world is fucking crazy. It's bad, but it's like fucking crazy. Like, you do have to experience the film because it is unique. That doesn't save it from being abysmal. Batman Returns, I love. Batman Returns is the best film featured in this category. Batman Returns is a Tim Burton masterpiece. I love it to death. Michelle Pfeiffer, that was my sexual awakening, probably. Batman and Robin, like, what do you expect me to say? That it's fucking masterful. Step aside, Citizen Kane. Batman and Robin, everyone knows it's really bad. Even Joel Schumacher called it a toy commercial. But I do admire the queer cinema aesthetics and language and just ridiculous little fucking gay shit that Joel Schumacher would do in his Batman films. It was kind of cool. Kind of cool. Uma Thurman was hot too, in case anyone was wondering about that. Let's go to popular 1970s movies. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is good. Grow up with it. I actually like the Tim Burton remake more. I have a video on that on the channel. You should check it out if you're interested. House. House is like, okay, so it's crazy and it's nuts and it's fucking bizarre and super creative and gory and silly and cool. But it has like the bad thing that all cult movies have where like it's such a good idea to put on for the first 25 minutes exactly. And then it just keeps going. And by the end you're desensitized to the euphoria that was intentionally putting it on to blow your mind. It's I, fuck it. I don't like House. I think it's really overrated. Whatever. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is also super overrated, and I don't really like it. I don't hate it. Francois Truffaut cult for life, but I don't like Close Encounters. Whatever, dude. I don't fucking like it. The Amityville Horror is really cool. Margot Kidder is a fucking fox, and Brolin is just so vulnerable and sensitive in the film. I think The Amityville Horror is an incredibly made horror film. Saturday Night Fever, I haven't seen in like 15 years, but a part of me thinks that I would enjoy it as an examination, possibly deconstruction and celebration of disco culture. Like, during it, because we don't really have too many artifacts that were around within disco that can champion, celebrate, and also condemn aspects of disco. We have after the fact masterpieces like The Last Days of Disco. So Saturday Night Fever, there's probably something to it. I don't know when I'll get around to watching it again, but I would not be surprised if I found it really interesting. Grease is everybody's mom's favorite musical and also, well, every mom's favorite musical. I don't know what happens when you have a kid, but immediately you just start singing Summer Lovin', talking about Grease Lightning and shit. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a kid and I'm not a mom, so I don't like Grease. So that can just fuck off. A Clockwork Orange, yeah, this pops up a lot on Google. It's great. It's a masterpiece. Who cares? The Deer Hunter is also fucking great. Awesome. Great. Well, okay, The Deer Hunter is pretty good. It has a lot of problems with it. I have a lot to criticize in Deer Hunter, but in the grand scheme of things, it's extremely powerful. I don't mind it. What kind of genre is this? Comedies about girlfriends. Hell yeah, dude, the fucking Kino just arrived. Road Trip. I remember liking it when it came out. Like, it was good for its time and place. I'm sure if I were to rewatch it, that most of it, 99% of it, probably hasn't aged well. But, man, Amy Smart, I had a huge crush on her when I was growing up. She was so hot. And Tom Green ruled the world, you know? It was okay. Um, I'm never gonna watch it again because it remains in stasis. It remains in like a preteen stasis. I don't need to watch it. Ted fucking sucks. It's fucking awful. Old School, I didn't even like it when I was younger, though. I'm not a fan of Old School. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. and say that it's probably bad, and if I watched it again, I probably wouldn't be able to finish it. Pineapple Express is a good movie. I think it's very funny. I think that Franco and Rogan have excellent chemistry. I think it's a very funny, kind of brutal action comedy. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Phoebe Cates was the first erotic fantasy of a whole generation of people. It's an incredibly valuable and important movie, and I think it's funny, and I think it has a lot of dark things to say in a very illuminating and optimistic fashion. I like Fast Times at Ridgemont High a lot. Meet the Parents. I mean, it's innocuous, it's inoffensive. I think Ben Stiller is actually really, really funny, just in general. It's probably fine. I'm never gonna watch it again. Waiting was such an overrated movie for most of my life. It probably still is overrated. It's not funny. It's not good. It aged terribly. It already looks like a fucking 200-year-old ugly man, and Waiting's just really, really bad. American Pie 2. Comedies about girlfriends, I guess, don't tend to age well. American Pie 2 is not good, not great, but, I'd be lying to you if I said that the soundtrack and the film didn't mean a lot to me in like 2002, when I was 12, when a joke could be funny just because it implied that someone was gay. It's fine. Whatever, dude. It's fine. What a weird genre that was. The fantasy revenge? Fantasy movies about revenge. We're getting into the fucking weeds here, dude. The Huntsman Winter's War? Is that a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman or what? I didn't even know that was made. I saw Snow White and the Huntsman. Fucking hated it and had no idea that it earned itself a sequel. Wow. I mean, good for you, Huntsman cult. I've never met a single fan, but good for that one person. Mortal Kombat, the new one, I never saw it. I actually like the Paul W.S. Anderson original. I thought it was cool as fuck. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I don't even know which one that is. Is that like the newest one? Is that the Javier Bardem one? Or is that the Penelope Cruz one? I have no idea what one that is. I do be honest, I like the first three Pirates films an awful lot. I think they're a great amount of fun. Gore Verbinski's pretty cool. I didn't see any of the other ones. And I think there's only two other. I don't know. I don't even know how many Pirates movies there are, let alone what the fuck Dead Men Tell No Tales is, the fifth or the sixth or the 10th. Could it be the 18th? I've been that out of touch with the Pirates fandom. Batman is incredible. Another Tim Burton masterpiece. I love that Tim Burton superhero films were about championing misfit identities more than they were about any sort of like moralistic code. I love Tim Burton's gothic view, and he's a genius. Batman Begins is fucking awful. I like The Dark Knight a lot. Batman Begins is so fucking cringe. Honestly, watch it again. It's one of the cringiest fucking randy and dumbass fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Everything about it's bad, except for Katie Holmes, obviously. I'm half joking because I would happily die for Katie Holmes, but there's a part where she does slap Bruce in the car that's like probably the best acting in the whole movie. It's fucking terrible otherwise. Blade is a lot of fun. Steven Dorff is so fucking fun, dude. Like, I don't think that he was used properly outside of films like Blade or Entropy. Underworld's a lot better, though. Let's be real. Ghost Rider sucks. Eva Mendes is hot. Nicolas Cage is crazy, but it's so fucking boring. Like, it should have been a lot more exciting and crazy than it was. I think the second one was crazier, right? Spawn is a piece of shit. Oh my god. I actually like Todd McFarlane. And no, I really like the HBO animated Spawn series. If by chance you're a fan of Spawn and you haven't seen the HBO animated series, holy shit, check that out immediately. Those are some amazing episodes, dude. Holy shit. But the live action 90s Spawn film is a fucking joke, right? 1940s movies, popular ones, okay. Notorious is a great Hitchcock film. Gaslight? I don't think it's good. I think it's only here, like in the algorithm picked up on it because of how gaslight, the word, has become used so frequently in contemporary discussion online. The Great Dictator is very good. When Chaplin spoke, he clearly had something to articulate. Gilda, I would do anything for Rita Hayworth, dude, and mostly because of Gilda. It's such an incredible film, such an incredible tribute to a beautiful woman, and that attraction is inherently possessive and dangerous. It makes for a perfect film noir. Gilda is a perfect film. The red shoes, it's not good outside of that one sequence, right? That one kind of like dream hallucinatory sequence that it's known for. It's not known for anything else but that. So maybe 7 to 10 minutes of the film is good, but the rest, holy shit, and it is long, it's just worthless. Arsenic and Old Lace. Capra's amazing. Capra's a genius. I have a video on a lot of the films we're talking about. If you're curious, just go looking for them. I definitely have one on Arsenic and Old Lace. Capra fucking rocks. Strawberry Blonde I've never seen, but is that not only Cagney, but more importantly, de Havilland? Oh my god, now that's a real woman right there, dude. I'll watch it. I've never heard of it, to be honest. Scarlet Street. Hey, I think Scarlet Street's a better Fritz Lang film than Metropolis, and I don't even think Scarlet Street is very good. If you're curious, I think that Fritz Lang's best film is M. Unquestionably, it's unmistakably his masterpiece and one of the greatest films ever made. So, oh man, I'm kind of losing my edge here. My stamina is dissipating rapidly. This is the last one we're gonna do. 1990s movies about ghosts. Fuck yeah, dude. We're in it. We're in House on Haunted Hill. Fucking love it. Love House on Haunted Hill. Masterpiece. Stir of Echoes. Okay, so it's like, okay. That's honestly all I can really say about it. It uses Paint It Black extremely well, the song. Kevin Bacon's very good in the film. It's okay. It's nothing memorable at all. Like, it's probably one of the most forgettable films featured in this category. Sleepy Hollow, I think, is fucking perfect and precious. I'm a big Tim Burton fan, in case you didn't realize. I'm also going to call this a masterpiece. Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. I've never been more bisexual in my life than when I'm watching Sleepy Hollow. It's really good. Ring, the original, I don't actually like too much. Gore Verbinski, holy shit, I'm going back to Gore right now. The American Ring from 2002 is a fucking phenomenal film. I don't really like the original. I'm not a big J horror fan. The Sixth Sense gave me nightmares when I was a child. You watch it today and you're like, God, M. Night fucking sucked. He always sucked. But I think when you're a child and you're like easily fooled and you're super naive, you don't see how dumb M. Night Shyamalan is. He's a fucking moron. I hate his films. Hamlet, Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet is one of my favorite films. It's perfect. Kenneth Branagh did incredibly. Kate Winslet broke my heart. That film is so fucking sacred to me, to be honest. The Haunting is not good, but I like it might be my favorite Catherine Zeta-Jones performance. She really embodied something peculiarly sexy in a liberating way that the film didn't even try to punish. It did mark a certain kind of deviation in horror. It was returning to simpler themes, while at the same time did champion sexually ferocious women like Catherine Zeta-Jones. Casper, dude, I don't think I've watched it since I was a kid, but I loved it when I was a kid. Fucking loved it. Devon Sawa was the voice of Casper. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It meant a lot to me as a kid, so I don't give a fuck. There's no way I can give you an objective feeling about that film. It definitely helped form the incredible masculine human being, the man, ow, fuck, that you're looking at right now. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I've been your cult boyfriend. In the comments, leave your thoughts on some of the films that I've covered. Do you disagree with me or do you agree with me? Are you stupid or are you smart? You decide.